Hello all, this is NaveenPrabhu. Today I am going to show you a small trap in Sicilian defense. The trap was first invented by a greatest grandmaster, one of my favorite grandmaster, that is Bobby Fischer. He becomes a grandmaster in the year 1958 and he becomes the world champion in the year 1972 and he is the 11th world champion. Interestingly, he played this trap against the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster fallen for this trap. He actually executed this trap when he was just 10 years old. I just tried this trap against my opponent. He also fallen for this trap. Let me show you the game. The game goes into the Sicilian defense. Starting with the move E4, C5, Nf3 Nc6, and then I played the move D4. He captures and I recaptures, and he goes into the accelerated dragon variation of the Sicilian defense by playing the move G6. By playing the move G6, he gives some square for his bishop to go on G7 to control more squares. I just continued my development, developing my knight on queen side, and he puts an attack on my d4 knight with his knight and his bishop, so I need to protect it. So I played bishop to e3, and then he develops his king side pieces to ready for the castle, and I also develop my bishop to castle and king side, and the black castles here. And here is the point the trap is started to set up. That is, Bobby Fischer played the move bishop to b3 to set a trap against black. Actually, in this position, it invites black to place the move knight to a5 because many players want to trade his knight with his bishop. And in the position also, the grandmaster placed this move to trade his knight with his bishop. Actually, this was the trap invented by Bobby Fischer. Let me show you the trap. Here we need to place the move pawn to e5. Actually, there are two moves here. That is, one, he should move his knight or just capture the bishop and capture the rook here. Let me show you the lines here. If he captures the bishop here, I will just capture that knight here, and he need to capture the rook here. If he captures the pawn here, I will just capture this knight and will be a piece up for nothing. So black should continue capturing my rook here. I will just capture the bishop here, and if you look at the position, I will be exchanged down in this situation. But this knight is not coming out because the knight is actually trapped. I will just capture it with my queen anytime if I need it. Now black can just move his rook or just capture the pawn. But capturing a pawn is not needed now because it protects the black by this move, because I can't just force an attack because I can't just capture my pawn, right? So it's just acting like a shield for black. So that's good only, so we can capture it later. I will just show you a sample line in this variation so that you can understand the position here. Actually, this position, the engine is giving a +2 advantage in this position. I will show you the lines here. The game may continue like this. I just castled and it attacks my knight. I moves. Now we need to capture the knight on a1, because if I not capture the knight and play some other move, he will just capture the pawn and protects his knight somehow. So I need to capture the knight here. Actually, you see in this position, I am having two knights for the rook, which will give a major advantage in this middle game, because rooks will be only active in the end game. So we can't able to activate a rook early on in the position, but my knight can do lots of work before that. And in the end game also, it's okay to play with two knights against the rook, because My two knights can do a work in two places, but the rook can only concentrate on one place. That's the advantage by getting two pieces for the rook. Let me go back. Here. Instead of capturing the bishop, he can also move his knight. And he have only two squares for his knight, because this square is covered my knight and this square also covered my knight and this square is covered my queen. He can just move his knight to the corner of the board to h5 or take it back with the move knight to e8. If he goes to h5, I can just place the move g4 and traps the knight. He couldn't able to move his knight and it's just winning in few moves for white. So the only option is to move his knight back to e8. And here is an interesting move to play for white. I will give you a few seconds. You can try it by yourself. I hope you found this move, that is bishop captures f7. That is, it looks like a sacrifice, but we are going to trap his queen in few moves. If we capture it with the rook here, we can just place the move knight to e6 and traps the queen. You can't capture the knight because I will just capture the queen. I will be a queen up. If you try moving the queen, but there is no place here. You have only two squares for your queen. That is, this is covered by the knight and this is covered by bishop. So this is not good for black to capture with the rook. You have to capture with the king here. But this is also not good. I will just place the move knight to e6. You have to capture with the king if you want to save the queen. If you capture with the pawn, I will just capture the queen and will be a queen up for nothing. You have to capture with the king. And if you capture it with the king, it is just mate in 6. I will give you a few seconds. You can try it by yourself. I hope you found this continuation, that is queen to d5 check and king to f5, and you have to give a check here, and the only move is to capture the pawn and we have to give this check. And here four choices for the king to go. If he goes here, it's mate in 1. This is checkmate. And if the king goes here and we are going threatening checkmate on g4 and g5, it can't be stopped. So it will be a mate. If you place this, this is checkmate. And if the king goes here, I can just check and give a checkmate here. Only move is to move his king to h4. And here I will play this check. And the king goes here. And there will be this check. And you have to block it with this move. And this is a checkmate. This is one of a Bobby Fischer trap in the Sicilian defense. I hope you guys enjoyed this trap. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want more contents like this, please subscribe to this channel. This is NaveenPrabhu signing off. See you in the next video.